to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, and today I'm going to work on a little project that I'm copying from somebody else, and it'd be Lee Peden, whose channel is called Mr. Pragmatic Lee. You know, my brain wouldn't come up with the name of his channel today. I was trying to think about it. I thought, well, Mr. Practical Lee, Mr. this, Lee. Finally, I had to just go look it up, you know, in my subscriptions. Why I can remember his name so good, not the name of his channel, I don't know. I'm getting old, I guess, maybe. Anyway, I'm going to copy a project he did where he took his mini pallet and attached it to a round bar and turned it into a kind of a sine plate and angle adjustable mini pallet. And I like the idea of being able to bolt something on it and adjust the angle, because here the other day when I was making my ball turning attachment or radius cutting attachment, depending on how fancy you want to be, excuse me, I wanted to drill a hole at an angle, and all I had was a very flimsy little vise. And when I started to drill it with the grizzly there, it just shook, you know. The little vise wasn't strong enough. And this'll make me a fixture that's plenty of strong enough. And I'm not a bit above copying. I saw it on his channel a couple of weeks ago, and I've been thinking about it almost non-stop since. And this project, like all of them, starts on the bandsaw. You can probably hear it running in the background, because I'm cutting a pretty big piece of aluminum. I went down to the metal supermarket and I got a foot of 2.5 inch diameter 6061 aluminum. That little booger ran me 30 bucks, you know. But anyway, I'm only going to use about a third of it, so I'll have plenty for other projects. Alright, well, let's just get on with it. There you go, the shot of the beginning of the project right there, just cutting away. I believe if you look at the edge of this mini pallet, you can see that it kind of curves there, and some saw cut it, not mine but somebody else's, that was a little out of alignment, I guess. And when I made the mini pallet, I said, well, I'll square that off when it's relevant to the project. And today it's relevant to the project, so I'm going to square that little bugger off. Alright, let's give her a slice and see what happens. Alright, that cleaned it up, so I'll just make looks like it did, I'll just make a little cut back across there, a spring cut with climb milling. Maybe that'll make it nice and slick. But I'm going to put you guys to sleep. You know, you can take this little bearing and just run it up there and then turn this thing by hand, and you can knock out the run out just like that while you're watching it on your indicator. Discovered that a few minutes ago. I imagine everybody else already knows. Alright, so I centered off, I squared off the ends and put a center in them and stuff like that. And I came to the realization that actually I'm kind of pooped. I went today and I've been doing stuff, you know, a little housework for a relative. I've floored a couple of rooms with that vinyl tile that you click together, and hung doors, and made a doggy door and steps and things. And so it's been a busy week, and I think right now is probably a good time to knock off the day, take a little nap so I don't have to go to bed tired. So we'll start this again tomorrow. Alright, so we'll center this thing up. Find the Y on this thing by coming over and let it smooth out and then kick off. back it up about one more time. That pretty much agrees. Let's do it one more time. And that's in agreement. I like to see the thing kick over more than once, just to be sure that I'm not imagining things. Find this side. Alright, that's 2.30. If I move it over to 1.151. That's supposed to be dead center, and I'm willing to bet that it really is. At least it's dead center of this 200 thousandths diameter part. Alright, so now I know where the ends are in the middle and all the other stuff there, so I believe it's pretty well ready for me to start slicing it up. I don't think it was lifted up any, but who knows. Alright, let's bring her over here and we'll come in there and make about a 100 thousandths cut to start the thing rolling. There we go, that's about 100 thousandths. Yeah, I guess you guys like the way I'm precise, huh? About, near to. A little nervous about how fast it's feeding, but that's feeding pretty slow. I never know exactly because I'd have to take time with a watch or something, and I'm lazy. Can't say it's an overly nice cut. Alright, so I'm going to cut her back and forth like that for a while. I'll wake you guys up when I'm further along. Of course, the deeper you cut, the wider your spaces that you're cutting on there. I'll have to move it back and forth now to make sure it's all cut. But it's doing pretty good. Getting a really big pile of chips. Alright, so it's cut. I cut it down to point. Sorry about kicking your camera. Yeah, I cut it down to 0.675. This the mini pallet was 3/4 of an inch thick until I dressed off the thing with a fly cutter, but the replacement for it will likely as not be 3/4 of an inch or an inch thick, you know, when I wear the thing out. And if I stop at 0.675, something can stick clean across the edge of it without getting caught on here. Or, well, I guess if I went deeper I could use this as a stop. So there's a lot of different ways to look at it, but that's the way we're doing it. So while you guys take another little nap, I'm going to vacuum up all these chips. Alright, so I did a little layout work and it looks like that if I put the holes every 3/4 of an inch where that they fit right here, I'll be a little close to one end down there, but I'll have plenty of holes for the next thing that I put up. This is only 3 inches wide and this is 4 inches, and this would be better if it were, you know, 10 inches wide, but at least the next one I get will be somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 inches wide, and I want to be able to bolt it down all the way across. So this one will bolt down here at the end. Okay, it's just the way I'm going to do it. And there will be leftover hole down there for the next bigger piece, which is this. This will be the bigger piece that has, instead of 3 holes, it'll have 4 holes. Okay, maybe more. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll have 5 holes. One of the holes will be kind of down here, out of the way a little bit, but it'll still hold just as good. Alright, so you guys take a little nap while I change out the end mill for a drill, and we'll work on to the next spot. Okay, using the DRO for positioning, I'll drill little pilot holes there, and that'll be getting it started straight, and then I'll come back and drill and tap the places. You can use it either, I can use my DRO either in the absolute mode and add 3/4 of an inch every time I add to a hole, or I can go to incremental mode, move it over 0.750, drill a hole, zero it, move it 0.750, just whichever way you like. Got carried away there. Shouldn't have been talking, should have been watching. That one will already be chamfered. Alright, I'm going to turn this off because it's distracting me. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to go along with pilot holes. I'm going to put, I think, the right drill bit for 1/4 inch, which is probably number 7, because I lost the 7/32 I was using. And I'll bring you back in a minute when it's easier for me. The DRO is a wonderful thing. With it, any idiot can put the holes in the right place, provided he knows where the right place is. I'm going to try to power tap it. May work, may not. Make a mess of it. They always start over, huh? But some of you may remember that I have a Tapmatic, and you might be wondering why I don't use it on this. Well, the Tapmatic is big. It takes a while to set up. You got to change the height of the head here and everything. The Tapmatic excels at making a whole lot of tapped holes really fast. But I've only got to do 5 here, so it's, by the time I got it set up, I could already be through with these, I think. At least it started straight. Now I can go back and just finish it off with something else, tap wrench or something. I'm going to do this all the way across, so I'll wake you guys up again when I get through. At each step I put the tap in it, run it down until it starts slipping in the chuck, stop the motor, bring it out, and use one of these adjustable spanners. Now, just to show you that us rednecks are not behind the times in any way, up to date here, I have both metric and imperial adjustable spanners. This one right here says so, 150 millimeters, 6 inches. So I'll use the 6-inch one here because this is 1/4 We're doing inch size imperial measurement. Just wanted you to know us rednecks weren't getting behind the times. Alright, so I used the little, I've drilled them, threaded them, used a little center drill to chamfer the opening of the holes. Everything's been done by the sacred formula of drill it, thread it, chamfer it. And now we'll swap this piece out, put the other piece in, and we're going to put 3 holes in the end of it, and I guess 4 or 5 holes in the side of it. So hang on and I'll set up for that. Alright, so I marked it off with my Randy Richards scribe, and I've made little lines that will serve as a sanity check for me, so I'll know I'm putting the holes in the right place. And I'll put 3 holes right across the end of here, 1/4 inch in diameter, and I'll countersink them for the heads of the little screws, and we'll be in business. So this guy right now is at 600 thousandths over, 0.750 this way. So that comes out right on my scribe marks. Alright, so I'm going to drill 3 holes. You've seen 3 holes drilled before, so I'm not going to go any further on there, and I'll bring you back when I start locating for the holes down the side. When I got to that center hole, the hole down hole, the one I put things together, was too close to one of the holes I already had there, and the drill bit started to drift off like that. But since I'm going to countersink the heads in there, I'll use this 3/8 end mill to straighten that mess up, and then I'll use a 1/4 inch end mill to go ahead and go through it. So that way it won't deflect or anything, and it'll be a straight hole. Inasmuch as several of the holes that I had drilled and threaded to hold things down coincided with the holes I'm drilling to fasten this thing to that round bar, I went ahead and drilled the holes using a 1/4 inch end mill so that there wouldn't be deflection and crooked junk. And then I've come back with this to countersink the thing. And this is my last hole here. I'm countersinking them a 1/4 inch deep, although there's a couple of them that I got maybe about 3 thousandths too deep. I guess that'll be forgiven considering it didn't have to be precision like that. There you go. So now all I got to do is clean up the chips, clean this mess up, find the cap screws and put it together and show it to you. So back to sleep. Alright, so here's the 2 pieces. This guy can bolt on like this or this. So I guess, let's see what happens if we bolt him on in the middle here. Have to move him down until all the holes line up. I have not pre-fitted this to see if I missed the holes or not, so that holds really tight. I may need to clean it out. Whoa, dropped a couple of the screws. I don't have a lot of those, so I can't lose them. Make sure this little guy's going to fit in there. You know what? I believe these are metric screws. I've got them mixed together over here, so I'm going to have to go over here and dig around till I get the right screws. Alright, Mr. Bozo has visited, and I just realized I threaded these holes 1/4 28, not 1/4 20. that tap was in the wrong little compartment in my box over there. And those those cap screws are not going to screw in. I'm going to have to get some 1/4 28, which means I got to go to Redneck Supply. So you guys just hang in there and I'll let you know when I get back. Okay, so I went to Redneck Supply and I looked in the bins for the 1/4 28, and I wanted 5, but I could only find 4, and they weren't in the right bin anyway, and I had to dig through 3 or 4 bins by them. You know how it is, you go to a hardware store, people pick something up and that's not the right one, they just throw it in any old hole. So you can't believe what it says on that little drawer when you pull it out, but it could be any size. But anyway, I wanted 5 of them and I could only get 4. I don't necessarily just have to have 5 right this minute, and they'll eventually restock. So we'll just take this little guy and put him together, and it looks like it's going to fit first time out. Sure makes a difference you got the right thread. And I'll put the extra one down in the spare hole down there. Look at that. Having a DRO makes all the difference. You can duplicate your holes in every piece that comes along. It's all going to fit just right. I guess if I have to skim it off to restore the surface at some point, I can just countersink these a little bit deeper. But there we are. That's good and tight. Went to a 50th wedding anniversary thing today. Wasn't ours. Ours we went to last year, and there was other old people there. And here it is, Thanksgiving, and I watched the other folks, and I come to realize I got quite a lot to be thankful for, because there's a lot of people in my age pushing walkers or riding in wheelchairs or bedridden, and I watched gals shaking hands and this and that and the other, and I don't really have anything much wrong with me other than being a redneck and dumb. I'm in good condition. I can hold my hands steady for aiming. I can walk all over the range. So I guess I'm, pretty lucky, and I got a lot to be thankful for. So here we are. I copied Mr. Lee Peden, and this guy is nice and long, and it can be used lengthways like this, or I can turn it around, set it on sideways. Wherever he got the idea, he found a good one, because I think that's going to be really, really handy. So I suppose there'll be a joke. I think I might have one left over somewhere. And I appreciate y'all viewing, and you'll come back for another one. All right? Seems like Bubba's Aunt Bessie had been down to her doctor, see her doctor, and and she'd gone by the pharmacy and got a prescription filled, and she's a little bit distraught when she phoned the doctor's office, and she says, is it true that the medication you prescribed to me has to be taken for the rest of my life? Yes, I'm afraid so, the doctor told her. There was a moment of silence before Aunt Bessie said again. She says, well, I'm wondering then just how serious is my condition, because this prescription is marked no refills. Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.